Hi everyone, welcome back to my weekly meal plan. If you're new here, each week I share with everyone what's on my meal plan for my family for the upcoming week. I do this as part of a frugal podcast because I think that meal planning is really important for saving money and wasting less food. And it also makes life easier by not having to figure out every day what's for dinner. So I figure if I share my meal plan, maybe it'll give you some motivation to put yours together, or maybe you could use some of the recipes. Whatever way this might be helpful to you is what I'm looking for, whatever might help. So I do rotate my meals on a regular basis, but I do try and throw in some new things here and there, maybe a new recipe for a side dish or maybe a new main meal. But I do definitely use like a basic rotation of meals, so it's not a whole lot of new recipes all the time. It just makes it easier for me to get meal plans together quickly each week and not have to always be worrying about what we're having for dinner. So the blog version of this meal plan with the recipe links can also be found at lolasfrugallife.com if you are looking for any of the recipes in particular that I mentioned during the episode. So this week's meal plan starts on Saturday, August 7th. So for Saturday, we are having creamy herbed pork chops, which is from allrecipes.com. Now, I've mentioned before when I make this recipe, I kind of just use it as a guideline because I don't actually make the creamy sauce part of it. All that I really do, which I think comes out so good and it's so simple, is I take bone-in pork chops and I season them with the Montreal steak seasoning, which is what this recipe says to do. And then I saute them in a frying pan in butter, and they just come out so good just plain like that I don't even go on to the next step, which is making the creamy sauce. So if you're looking for a really quick dinner, I really like them. I'm not sure if everybody will, but they're just such a super quick, easy way to make pork chops, and the Montreal steak seasoning and the butter in the pan, it just makes them taste really good. And then I'm also going to be doing on the side Mexican corn on the cob, which is from allrecipes.com. This actual recipe calls for cooking the corn on the grill, but as I've mentioned before, I do make this recipe a lot in the summer, but I more recently started cooking the corn in the air fryer, and it comes out just as good. It actually comes out really good, and I don't have to stand there at the grill flipping the corn constantly so that it doesn't burn. So that's how I'll be making it again. For the cooking of the corn part, I'll be putting it in the air fryer. And then as another side dish, I'm going to be making pasta with tomatoes, basil, and garlic. I just made this for the first time, I think it was last week, and it was really good. So I was going to make it again. You basically just take like cherry tomatoes and basil and garlic and olive oil, and you drizzle the olive oil over the tomatoes and basil and garlic, and you roast it in the oven until the tomatoes are like basically almost like popping, kind of like, you know, like how the skin gets kind of weird and they look like they're gonna burst. You cook them until that point, and then you basically just toss it with the pasta and with some more olive oil, and I just thought it was a really great side dish, so I'm going to be making that again. For Sunday, I'm going to be making baked ham and cheese party sandwiches. This is from allrecipes.com. This is something that I kind of just make for fun once in a while. They're just like little ham and cheese sandwiches that you bake in the oven, and I just think they taste really good. It's like ham and Swiss cheese, or of course you could use whatever cheese you like, but what you do is you make like this butter and Dijon mustard and Worcestershire sauce, like you melt it like in a pan, and you make kind of like a topping that you would brush on. And you brush it on top of the little mini sandwich rolls, which the sandwiches are made of. And when it bakes in the oven, it just kind of like absorbs all that flavor and like browns the top of the bread. And I just think they taste really good. So every once in a while, I'll just kind of make that for something fun and different. And it's on a weekend, so I figured it'll be quick and easy. And then for the side dish, I'm just going to make classic macaroni salad, which is from allrecipes.com. It's just like your basic elbow macaroni salad with like mayonnaise and vinegar, that type of thing. I know I'm kind of missing a vegetable there, but I'm just going with it. That's what I'm making for Sunday. I do try and have some type of vegetable in most days, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, and that's what I have on the plan for Sunday. So Monday, we are having hot dogs. We do hot dogs every 4 weeks, once a month on a Monday. And what I do is I make home fried potatoes in the air fryer, and I make Italian hot dogs. I think I mentioned last time, I think, that I did hot dogs, that I didn't realize that Italian hot dogs, like, everybody doesn't know what that is. I guess it's like a New Jersey, New York kind of thing. So what Italian hot dogs is when you take a hot dog and you put it on the hot dog bun, and then you top it with like potatoes and peppers and onions. At least that's the version that I know. And you just put that on top of the hot dog bun with the hot dog, and it's really good. So what I do is I chop up potatoes and peppers and onions, and I drizzle it with a little olive oil, and I cook them up in the air fryer until the potatoes are cooked really well. And then I just top the hot dogs with it. And then we're also going to be doing a can of pork and beans with that meal. So that's just going to be a really quick, simple, easy meal. For Tuesday, we do some type of Mexican theme every Tuesday. So this week I'm going to be doing sheet pan shrimp fajitas from allrecipes.com. And it's just like your basic fajita recipe. You know, you put the shrimp and the peppers and onions and the fajita seasoning on a baking sheet and bake it in the oven, and then make the fajitas with it. And I'm also going to be serving a bagged salad on the side with that, just one of the kind, you know, you pick up at the grocery store that has the toppings and the dressing included. So we will do that for Tuesday. For Wednesday, I'm going to be making Chef John's crab cakes, which is from allrecipes.com. This isn't a recipe I would normally make as part of our weekly rotation, but I was trying to find something for seafood that I could make, and I just made flounder last week, so I didn't want to make that, and I feel like I just made salmon, and we're having the shrimp fajitas on Tuesday, so I didn't want to do shrimp again. So this is a recipe I've made on occasion. It comes out really good if you like crab cakes. So it's from allrecipes.com. It's Chef John's crab cakes, and it's pretty quick to make. It's just that you do have to prepare the crab cakes earlier in the day and let them sit in the fridge to kind of like harden. You know, like once you form the patties, you got to get them really cold in the fridge so that they kind of stay together. So I'm going to have to make sure I remember to do that on Wednesday. And then on the side, I'm just going to do, I have one of those bags of like, it's kind of like a mixture of like potatoes and green beans and stuff. It's one of those like kind of roasted potato, steam fresh vegetable type mixture. And I'm just going to throw that in the microwave and heat that up and serve it on the side with the crab cakes. And hopefully that'll be enough food. I think it will be fine. I was trying to think of another side to go well with the crab cakes and with the potato mixture. And I just thought it would probably be okay just on its own. Like that, because it does have like the potatoes and green beans, so it's got like a couple of different vegetables in the bag. So we're going to go with that for Wednesday. For Thursday, I always do either breakfast for dinner or soup and grilled cheese, because that's the night I go grocery shopping, so I try and keep the cooking pretty quick and easy. So this Thursday, I'm going to be doing Instant Pot split pea soup. That's from foodnetwork.com. I make this fairly frequently. I didn't used to make split pea soup a lot because it takes a really long time to make it on the stovetop. It takes forever for the split peas to cook. But in the Instant Pot, it comes out so easy and perfect. So I will just be making that quickly when I get home from shopping. And then I'm just going to make some quick grilled cheese sandwiches on the side. And that will be dinner for Thursday. For Friday, I'm going to be making baked chicken nuggets, which is from allrecipes.com. And this is just a really simple little chicken nugget recipe that you pretty much just take chicken breast and you cut it up in like the little chicken nuggets. And then you dip it in, or not dip it, but you coat it in melted butter, and then you dip it in breadcrumbs and you bake it in the oven, and it comes out really good like that. And then for sides, I was just going to do baked potatoes. I like to just make them in the microwave. I just kind of wash the potatoes and poke them with the fork and then put them in the microwave on the baked potato setting. I usually run the baked potato setting twice because I usually don't think they're fully cooked enough, at least on my microwave when I run it the first time. So I always do it twice. Then I just kind of cut them up and maybe put a little butter, salt, and pepper, and maybe put out a little cheese or sour cream that anybody else might want to add to it. And then I'm also just going to do a bag of frozen vegetables on the side with that. I think I have like some of like the fancy like green bean type variety, like the different colors in one of those Steam Fresh type bags. So I'll be making that on the side with that. So that is it. That's the last day of the meal plan. So I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. Just as a reminder, the recipes, like I said, can be found on my website with the blog post dated for this week. So if you have any questions or suggestions for me, I would love to hear from you. You can reach me at lolasfrugallife@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Lola's Frugal Life. We also have a private listeners group on Facebook, which is at facebook.com/groups/Lola's Frugal Life. And if you enjoy the show, please make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen from. And also, if you can please take a couple of seconds to rate and review the podcast, that would be really helpful to me. I would really, really appreciate that. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a really awesome day.